So this is actually the plastic cup for a really cool cup weaving that we are going to do in 3rd grade. This is a finished one, exception it might have a few more little beads thrown here at the top, but the yarn is already done. That's our first step. And when we're totally done, we may have the option of maybe doing some pipe cleaner handles with beads and a little beadwork around the sides here. So they can be really pretty. All you need when you work with something like this is a plastic regular solo cup, pair of scissors, and yarn. You could make this at home without the handle, and it's very easy. They make great pencil holders. When you get your cup, everybody's going to have a red one today. I have an odd number of cuts here, otherwise we wouldn't be able to weave. So I already cut them for you, but if you want to do this at home, 7 cuts work really well on a small solo cup. Maybe 9 cuts. It has to be an odd number for it to work. Now your name is going to go on the bottom, and I'm using one that's been already used by somebody from a year past, so you need to write your name with a marker, and you can write your class ID, 3, whatever your teacher's initial is. Then once we have that done, you're ready to get your yarn. You folks are going to be able to use recyclable yarn out of our big tub, but it has to be pretty much on the long side, and you will be able to use some nice yarn rolls. So I'm going to actually start with something from a yarn roll. Now this is, these can get easily knotted up. So I want to show you how you take from a yarn roll so that it doesn't get knotted up. Your natural inclination is to take it from the side, but they actually do get knotted up. So there is a little end. See how there's a little end there? Usually, sometimes they even pop all the way inside there and you can't find it, but here I think I have it. And it will just pull nicely without knotting. So there should always be an end. Now in the video here, you're not going to see how long this should be, but I'm going to say it needs to at least be 1 whole arm's length to the middle of your body. So that is pretty long. So if you're choosing to find something out of the scrap yarn tub, you will actually have to find something that's pretty long. Because if you grab little short lengths, you're going to have a lot of little loose ends, a lot of areas you are stopping and having to start a new yarn. And that gives us a lot of these little things inside, these little loose ends. And you don't want that extra work. It just gives you more work. Now to start, you don't need to worry about taping, gluing, or knotting. For our first piece of yarn, we just put it right there inside. It's just stuck in there. But when I start, I know that can kind of slide out. I could yank it out by accident. So the object of this is really easy, and that's where kids get frustrated. They know what they're supposed to do. It's just these little plastic things here kind of flip around, and they're flimsy, and they get in the way, and our yarn will get snagged on the plastic too. So I'm going around one, inside one to keep this really pretty pattern going. And you may notice that I got my finger inside. I'm trying to hold on to that piece of yarn so I'm not pulling it out. So around one, inside one, and I work that way. I bunch it down. So you're going to see me making my pattern. So I went around one, I went inside one. Around one, inside one. And it's really easy to see the first time you go around. And notice how I stop to bunch. Because some kids will try to pull tight like this, but what happens, it doesn't make it look any tighter. It makes your cup go like that. And that's not good. So around one, inside one. And I got it tight enough, but this is how I make it tight looking. I bunch it down. Around one, inside one. And I'm doing it right. I'm just going around for the second time. It's kind of filling in where it needs to go. So this is right. It's what it should look like. around one, inside one. And I bunch it down. Instead of yanking it really tight here, I bunch it down. It's very important to make it look that way. Around one, inside one. And then I bunch it down. Around one, inside one. Now you're noticing I probably have bigger hands than you. I'm finding it comfortable for me to hold it from the bottom and have this hand in here. You notice I'm cheating a little bit. I'm kind of like pushing it out a little bit when I need to. So I find that comfortable for me. This hand position, see? Look how I go like that. This hand position is comfortable for me. It might not be comfortable for you. So I might show you another little hand position that might work for you. So today it's going to be flimsy, floppy, awkward. It's even that awkward for me because I haven't done it for quite a few years. Be prepared. Don't get frustrated. It's that way for everybody. So I'm going to show you how to finish out. See, I'm getting these little gaps there. That's okay because I push it down. And my yellow yarn is pretty thick, so that's why I see probably more of a gap. I'm going to be ready for a new color or a new piece of yarn. If I want to continue with my yellow a little bit, I can do that. But for the demonstration, I want to start with a new color so you can see how I start. So this is awkward. We're not tying a piece of yarn there. I'm going to take my loose end and I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to let it hang in the middle because it's really important that I know where I end it. Because when I start, I'm going to start a new one. Now I'm going to go for my brown. I'm using a nice roll. I got this on the side. I try not to use it from the side. I'm thinking, oh, somebody trimmed something there. That wasn't it. That's not it. I think somebody took a pair of scissors and maybe cut somewhere they shouldn't have on the inside. Let's see if I can find. It doesn't pull out nice. I'm going to try. I'm going to come to this end. Let's see if I can find the end here. Oh, that's not from the middle, is it? It's coming from the side here. So some little happy scissor person actually cut something they shouldn't have in the middle, and then maybe we lost the middle. Yeah.
Now it is in the
Yeah,
middle.
so what I'm thinking, that's not an option, and this isn't an option. You don't want to just cut anywhere. I'm going to have to go from the side. And when I get a new piece, I said I want an arm and a half, just like that. I cut it, and I'll leave these rolls on the counter. So I ended here. I'm going to put my finger where I ended. I can see it there. See how I ended? I ended right there. So I see it better than you guys in the video, but I got my finger on the slit where I ended. When I start a new color, I just start the next one over. See how I slid that in? So I ended there. I start the new color right there. Ended here, start here. So I don't have them tied together in there. I don't need to do that. If I'm careful and just kind of hang on to that brown when I first start, it won't come out. So that'll keep my pattern going. You end here, you can start the next one over. And then I just continue. So starting is really easy. Ending it and starting a new one, it's easy. You just need to see it. So I go inside, around one, inside, outside, scrunch. Inside, outside, scrunch. Now, there's little people that don't like holding it like the way I do. Some kids hold it with one hand at the bottom, and they use their little thumb to kind of hold it in place. They go, so I'm on the outside here, outside, inside, scrunch. And they turn it like that. That might be more comfortable for you, holding it from the bottom. Outside, inside, scrunch. Yeah. So outside, inside, scrunch. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop the demonstration here and allow you guys to work on your cups today.